My name's Kevin Blanch. Today I'm going to talk about what Wall Street does not want you to know and how you've been scammed into putting your money and giving it to these thieves. You've been scammed and you don't think you're giving them your money. You are, and you don't even know it. Through your 401k, through your retirement. This is how this scam works. And I'm going to shoot these numbers off my head. I'll be able to do them. I'm pretty good at doing time value money right out of my head. When I was on Wall Street, my boss used to say, "I never seen a brain like yours calculate some of these things." I used to be able to price options, do the delta formula on the fly in my head. I'm getting older now. I think I can still do it. But anyway, here's how this scam works. Okay, in the early 80s, late 70s, everybody that worked in America had a pension fund. They all worked for these corporations their whole lives, 20, 30 years. Used to retire at 20 years, believe it or not, in this country. Yeah, that's the way it was. We had the strongest middle class in world history from 1945, 1973. Working class people had money then, believe it or not. We weren't a bunch of impoverished, working class, poor like we are now. But anyway, these corporations were robbing these pensions, so Congress acted. They changed all the rules, started to let you do your own retirement gig. That's where 401ks were born. They were called kitchens and cafeterias or whatever the hell they were. But anyway, this industry started to grow. That's when the mutual fund manager was born. And as we pass laws more and more to push you there, avoid taxation, they've conned you into thinking that you're going to keep putting this money and avoid tax, and by the time you get 65, you're going to pull this big chunk of money out and live happily ever after. I tell everybody, dream on, dreamer. I'm like, what are you going to buy with it even if you do pull it off? Viagra and diapers? I mean, it's a fallacy to believe this whole scam. Okay, now let's get real and break it down in financial terms. The stock market is trading pretty well today what it was trading equivalent in the early 90s. Everybody says, oh, the Dow's what it was in 98. The NASDAQ's what it was in 93. So, okay, in the old days, people used to put their money in a bank account and let it grow, get compounded interest. Of course, that's back when you used to be able to get 6, 7, 8, 9% in a bank account. Why do you think the government has kept this interest rate so falsely low? Pacify Wall Street. They come in and tell you, oh, you got to grow at 3.5% on a compounded basis to beat inflation, which in reality is a lot more than that. Well, you haven't got no 3.5% compounded. You've been losing your ass. I don't care if you're in the bond market, 401k, whatever. Put your money in the bank. My God, these guys are scam artists. So let's do this in my head. Time value money. Okay, let's use 30 years. It used to be 20, but let's use 30. You work for 30 years. Okay, so our present value would be 0. We'll start with a $100 bill. Present value $100 bill. Okay, let's say we put $5,000 a year in it. Okay, let's say we do that for 30 years. Let's say 5%, which is a low rate of return over a 30-year period. We're not going to say it 2-3% ever. You know, in the past it's been higher. It'll go higher. Let's hope. But if it doesn't, we're going to be paying $10 million a piece for a house. So let's say 5%, which is low. Okay, if you do that for 30 years, $5,000 a year in a bank account, how much money are you going to have at 30 years? About 320 something thousand, 327, 320, about 325, 326,000. Okay, let's do that if you just put the money in with no interest rate, which that's what Wall Street gives you, no interest rate, plus you're taking on a risk. You might end up with none. So 5,000, $150,000, right? Yeah, $150,000, that's what you'll have. Okay, in the old days when I was a kid, I grew up with futures traders. I grew up on a ranch. My father was a Special Forces Marine. My uncle raised me, stood on Omaha Beach on D-Day. They were cattle ranchers and farmers. They traded futures and cash. These guys were gamblers. In 1980, 11% of the United States population had money in the stock market. Now it's 80%. People knew back then that it was speculation, it was gambling. Playing the market is gambling, is speculating. They knew that. They were big-time investors. That's why if a CEO was robbing a company, paying himself $200, $300, $400 million, he was gone. That shit didn't exist. No way, no how. Because the shareholders would descend on the annual meeting, which by law, still to this day, you have to have a shareholder meeting. They would show up, pull their resources together, major shareholders, gone. These guys were on the boards. Or get a guy on the board, throw him right out. Well, now the mutual fund manager, which is you got a little bit of money, you keep contributing and keep bitching about these guys. There's no accountability. They do whatever they want because they can. This is the scam. So if you put your money in the stock market, let's say in 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, on a compounded basis, how much money you got? You've lost money. You've lost money in the pure hard number of the money. Say you put $50,000 in. In the hard number, it's probably worth, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. And the people say, oh, well, I bought Apple at $8. Well, yeah, I went and put freaking $1,000 on 4 on the roulette wheel, too. Yeah, I mean, you want to talk one stock out of how many? I mean, you go dump your money on the roulette wheel. You got a 1 in 35 chance, and it pays 35 to 1. Okay? I'm talking a good, well-balanced fund, which most people think that that's what the mutual fund people are doing for them. They're not. They're scamming you, and I'm telling you, you got money in a 401k, think you're going to live happily after. If the government doesn't fuck you out of it, Wall Street's going to fuck you out of it. It's that fucking simple. And that's a fact. Do the math. It's a fallacy to think you're just going to throw this money and it's going to grow and you're going to pull it out and live happily ever after. Quit giving these scam artists your money. Put it in the bank. Take a small compound amount of interest. It grows fast. It'll grow faster than you think. Einstein said the most powerful force on earth was compounding. Don't be conned by these guys. When these guys come to you, tell you, oh, mortgage your house, put it in the market, blah, blah, blah. I know lots of idiots that did this. This Prime America or whatever these guys are, these life insurance guys. Oh my God, what a bunch of scam artists. Put your money in the bank. Quit feeding these scam artists.